Hello, my beautiful Capricorns, and welcome to your reading. So we are going to look ahead and see what your month ahead has in store for you. Now, I've gone ahead and shuffled your cards off camera, so that way it would help with time. And also, we will be doing some shuffling towards the end for additional messages as well. So this way we could just kind of jump right in and get straight to your messages. But before we actually get started, I do want to talk about the crystal that I selected for you guys. Now, I selected a crystal for each group or each zodiac sign intuitively. There really was no rhyme or reason. I select the crystals before I shuffle, so then that way it's just whatever I'm feeling drawn to, that's just what you get. So the one that I selected for you guys is Moonstone, and I honestly love this one in particular. This is a Moonstone Tower. And some of the benefits of Moonstone is it helps with new beginnings. It helps promote new beginnings. It also helps with grounding, kind of like getting in more stable with your intuition, feeling more aligned. So I thought this would be a really good one to use just because it's a little bit universal. So I liked that. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and place this here off to the side for you guys. And if you feel like you would like to work with Moonstone with this next month ahead, definitely go ahead and go out and grab some. Honestly, I think it's one of the most prettiest crystals just because it has like that, you know, almost looks like a cow print in my opinion. But you also got some like little rainbow in there on the crystal side. So I really do like these. So we're going to go ahead and just leave that there. We're going to start here with your tarot cards, and then we will go through the rest of your oracle cards. And as I said, we will do some additional shuffling after with some additional oracle cards. So let's see what your month ahead has in store for you. Starting off, we have the Empress in reversed, followed by, the Ten of Pentacles in reversed. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reversed. Okay. A lot of reversals here. And, the Death card in reversed. Okay, so everything is upside down for you guys. Interesting. Okay. We're resisting something here, Capricorns. This month ahead, there is a big, I feel like, change coming in, and I don't feel like you're ready for this change. And I say that because the Wheel of Fortune is kind of like that natural cycle of change. Like it's kind of like it's going to happen whether we're ready or not. Think of like as we start to age, when we grow up and when we, graduate from high school, some kids are like, I'm not ready. I don't want to be an adult, but it's going to happen anyway. Or like when you have your first child, that's just a natural change. And sometimes we're ready, sometimes we're not, things like that. So I feel like in this case in particular, that's what's happening here. And with the Death card right next to it, this is like, I am almost like putting my feet in the ground, like I am resisting this change. Like it's coming, but for some reason you're just not ready to make your peace with it. And it's interesting because the Death card is naturally like a transformative card. It is ruled by Pluto, and this does deal with that transformative energy. So again, whether we're ready to go through with this change or not, it's happening. And I see that as a result of this change, we are neglecting ourselves in this. The Empress in reverse talks about not caring for ourselves. Maybe we're just kind of caring too much, maybe about other people or kind of like what's going on. Not so much about how this is affecting us. And I'm going to be real. Okay. This is why it kind of took me a minute, to kind of get there. Now, normally I like to kind of go like in order. Sometimes I like to skip around, but when I see things and I'm really just trying to like get the download of, what's coming through, I really want to make sure that I'm sure before I say it. And you have the Ten of Pentacles here in reversed. This is telling me this is dealing with something in the family. There is some sort of change happening. Now, this definitely could point to a divorce. That is the biggest thing I'm seeing here. Again, just because it's like This is our foundation, our home life, what we've built, and it's usually what we've built with another person. Not always, okay? I do want to specify that because again, this is a general reading for a multitude of you, and you guys could all be obviously at different points in your lives, but for a good chunk, I will say this is definitely dealing with either an ending or a split or again a divorce of some sorts. And I just feel like I don't think we're ready to let go. I don't think we're ready to accept that this is ending or that this is happening. Okay. Now, for those of you not in a relationship or that doesn't pertain, it is something that is dealing with your foundation, your home. I still get this strong sense that this is dealing with the home, something going on within the home, whether your parents are divorcing, if you're, young enough, you're still living at home, or obviously you're very close with your family. This is affecting kind of like everybody in a way. But again, the strong emphasis is this Empress energy, this mother energy. She's not taking care of herself. Okay. And whether this is you, a strong emphasis on this, I feel like is you. But for those of you, again, this is like having to deal with your parents. Mom's not taking care of herself. Okay. Or just that this feminine energy, she is so fixated and focused on, I think, the reality of what's happening, that it's hard to really come to terms with, again, the reality that this is actually happening. Okay. So if this is pertaining to you, because I do want, obviously this is you guys who selected this reading, so I do want to talk to you guys directly. If this is happening to you where you feel like you're not really caring for yourself, you're too preoccupied with this change that's happening that you're maybe having a hard time accepting or resisting to, really focus on you right now. I know that might seem easier said than done, and I 100% get that, because change is never easy for anybody. And especially if this is you, if you are going through, a ending in a relationship or a divorce, or you are dealing with a loss of some sorts, that I fully understand how difficult that is. And it's not easy. But in order to, I think, be able to feel somewhat more, I don't even want to say better, because that sounds, I don't know. I get it. But my biggest thing is I really want you guys to start caring about you, because I feel like you haven't been, and you are what matters, is really what I'm trying to say. You are what matters. Okay. So even though everything else around you feels very chaotic and feels like you can't, you're resisting this, new reality, it's happening. Okay, that's the hard part, is it is happening. And the only thing you can do is just tend to yourself and make sure that you are taken care of moving forward. If you are a mother and you have children, you and your children, obviously, like that's what needs to be, your focus. So I'm so sorry. Like, I feel really bad, because if this really was, if this really is what you're going through, my heart really goes out to you. I have gone through divorce myself. I know how difficult that is, especially when you're not ready to let it go. I get that. So I don't want to not highlight your feelings in the matter. But for those of you that are not going through, an emotional or, a separation or breakup or things like that, this change that is happening, and like I said, it's having to deal with your foundation where you feel you're most secure. I feel for you. I feel for you, because again, you really need to be focusing on you right now. Okay. So I want to take a look here at the rest of your cards, because I want to see if we get a little bit more info. Gosh, I'm really, really sorry. I don't like to do, like, when things like this come up. I really don't, just because I don't want to be insensitive to how you're feeling or what you're going through, because I 100% get it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and take a look here. So we have, for your astrological signs, we have Mars. So some very fiery energy here. We have Pluto, that death card. That's what we're talking about. Okay. Change. We have Cancer. Okay. And we have lunar eclipse. All right. So let's take a look here at what these astrological cards are saying here. So as we start off with Mars, Mars is very much that fiery energy, right? Mars is known for how we take action. Okay. Kind of like, I don't want to say the aggressor, but it can be very aggressive energy because it is a very authoritative type energy. Mars rules over Aries. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, or you're, could have a fire sign as Mars in your chart. So this is where things like emotions are heightened, right? It's almost like that, anger, resentment, aggression, all of that is kind of pumping up. Now, Pluto, as we mentioned earlier, is ruled by the death card, or, the death card rules in Pluto, and it's also with Scorpio as well. So this does deal with a death, transformation, ending. So this is all about transition. And usually when this pops up as far as like transition, it's usually because it is meant to happen, because something better is out there for us, or we are going to come out on the other side of this. It's never a full, complete end, or never an ending in the sense that we'll never be happy again. It's just this ending, unfortunately, needs to happen because it's just part of the cycle. Again, think of that Wheel of Fortune card where it's just like, it's the natural cycle of things. So this has kind of like run its course, so to speak. Now, this Cancer card coming up, again, deals with more, the astrological sign of Cancer. So you could be dealing with a Cancer. For those of you that are in a relationship with a Cancer, this could be just validation. You could also have Cancer in your chart, which could be playing a role in how you are handling this emotionally. Cancers are a water sign, so they do deal, they are very emotional creatures, I would say, in the sense where that's what kind of like leads them. They are led by their emotions more so. So whether that's, a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to you to determine. I never really see it as a bad thing when we are led by our emotions. And especially in this situation where it can be very emotional, because there is that resistance to this change, it would make sense why this would pop up, or any water sign for that matter would pop up, because we are going through the ebb and flow of these emotions in general. We've got the, almost like aggression, assertiveness. We've got, also like with anger, this can, deal with that in Mars. With Pluto, we're dealing with that transformative energy, right? We're having to deal with this change that we are not ready for. We're not, wanting to deal with. And then of course, you've got now your emotions kind of taking a hold here with the Cancer card. So there's just a lot going on. And, again, this is where that focus on you really needs to happen. Okay. This is why I ask, for you to take care of yourself during this time. Now, you also have the lunar eclipse card. Now, this card is interesting because this is like the illuminator card. This is where kind of things are brought to light. Again, whether you're ready for the truth or not. So this would explain why this situation is happening. You could actually maybe have been presented with some information, which again is why this change is happening in the first place. For some of you that are dealing with a divorce, perhaps you found out, your partner was doing something they shouldn't have been, or that they lied to you, or they were being unfaithful or untruthful, things like that. So it's like you're seeing the bigger picture, whether you asked for it or not. It's now being like shown to you in a way that, again, probably weren't expecting it or weren't prepared for, but that now that you know, it's like, what do we do now? You know, kind of a thing. So again, really focus on you right now. I know that I sound like a broken record when I say that, but that is going to be the most crucial thing you can do moving forward, is really focusing on you and yourself during this time. And I think once you do that and you tend to yourself and you feel like you are okay, then you will be able to accept what is and be able to move forward. Okay. So let's take a look here at the rest of your oracle cards. The first one that we have is set your sights higher, increase your standards, and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Okay. Absolutely. Couldn't have said that better myself, especially if you were dealing with a breakup and you're not ready to let go. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the trash cans. I'm so sorry. Okay, so wanted to wait a minute, see if they would kind of stop. Okay, so as I mentioned, if this is dealing with a relationship breakup, the divorce, whatnot, set yourself higher. You deserve more. You deserve better. Okay. If you're resisting this change because you're not wanting the relationship to end, but you found out something, set your sights higher. You deserve better. You deserve more. Okay. I know you will do what you feel like is best for you. Absolutely. But just know you deserve better. Okay. The next one that we have is positive energy. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. Absolutely. I know, again, that's easier said than done because it feels very overwhelming. This doesn't feel like a very positive situation. So it's hard to look at the positivity. I get that. But, you know, definitely surround yourself with people who are going to be more uplifting, more encouraging, who are just going to be there for you, you know, and help you navigate through this change, through, you know, this time, because it's not easy and clearly we're resisting it. And, you know, sometimes talking to other people who can maybe have been through the same thing or who recognize what you're going through can make it a little bit easier for you to kind of get more on track and be able to move forward. Okay. And then the last one that we have is protection. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. Okay. You're going to be okay. That's what this tells me. You are protected. You are going to be okay. You're going to get through this. There is going to be a light at the end of this tunnel. I know it doesn't feel like it just yet, and that's okay. Okay, so this is definitely going to take a little bit of time, but just knowing that you are safe during this time, I think is crucial for you to hear right now. Okay, all right. So your last oracle cards that we have, the first one that we have is best possible decision. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. Okay, so yeah, you're going to be presented with all the information. You're going to see the bigger picture here, and you're going to have to make a decision that is best for you. Okay, so just trust in that you're not being led astray here. You're being shown the truth. You're being shown your reality, and it's up to you to decide what is going to be the best possible decision moving forward. Okay, the next one that we have is organization. Purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. Okay, so yeah, this might be that time where you kind of set things in order, figure out what it is that needs to be done here on after, especially if we are dividing assets or we are, you know, figuring out what we're going to do with the kids or, you know, pets or, you know, anything. This is where we need to get more organized and just kind of focus, yes, on what needs to be done, but also on you. Okay, I can't stress that enough. And then the last one that we have is destiny. All that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be shown. So I know this doesn't feel like this was your destiny to have to go through, and I know that sounds silly to say that, but I think of this Wheel of Fortune card because the Wheel of Fortune also kind of calls upon like, oh, it's destined, or like this is kind of like meant to happen, almost like this is just part of your journey. And that's what that makes me think of. Like this is just part of the cycle, your cycle of your life, like where you're at, your situation. So I know it doesn't feel good. It's not something that maybe you were prepared for, that you were even wanting to have to even go through. Obviously, no one ever wants to have to go through this. but just knowing that you are going to be shown everything and then determine what you're going to do with it, I think is going to be just a little bit easier to maybe make a little bit more peace with your situation once you move forward. Okay. All right. So I do want to pull you guys some additional cards. These are the C Melody Oracle cards. So we're going to pull these for some additional messages. Okay. So the first one that we have is anchor. Keep yourself grounded. Yes. Okay. So I know that, again, sounds easier said than done, but this is a good time to keep yourself grounded. Okay. Ground yourself. I know you feel like you're all over the place right now. And if that is the case, do what you need to take care of you. Ground yourself, go for a walk, go, meditate, talk to someone, do anything and everything that you can to just feel like you as you're trying to navigate the chaos. Okay. The next one that we have is direction. Trust your inner compass and find your bearings. Okay. Yeah. Really listen to what your gut is trying to tell you during this time. That's what's going to lead you on to the right path, and knowing like, okay, where do I go from here? That is, I feel like, the most common question that we ask ourselves anytime we go through an ending, especially in a relationship. It's like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Especially if you have a home with this person, you have kids, you have dogs, cats, anything like pets. Like, it's like, how do I uproot my life from what I knew to now what I don't know? It's really difficult to grasp that, right? So knowing that, again, it is possible. People do it all the time. Okay. I myself have been there. I get it. It's not easy, but I promise you, once you get to that point where you feel like you again, and you feel a little bit more grounded, where you can be like, okay, I can think a little bit more clearly. I can see the bigger picture. It will start to become easier to, again, see the path forward. I know you don't see it right now, and you probably won't for a little bit. That's just me being real with you guys. But, we have to kind of just do the best that we can. Okay. Your last two cards that we have is reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. Okay. Yeah, do some self-reflection. Look at yourself. See if you recognize you right now, because you're not taking care of you. And I guarantee you, if you are going through this situation and you feel so lost and kind of like you're in limbo, you're not going to recognize yourself. Trust me, I didn't even know who I was when I looked in the mirror, because I didn't feel like me, because the me that I thought I was no longer staring back at me, because that was now over, and I had to accept that. So it's not, like I said, not easy, but it is doable. Okay. And then the last one that you have is prudence. Don't be lured by the siren's song. Very powerful. Okay. This is telling you, like, don't be fooled by this situation. If that's what's halting you, if that's what's stopping you, if this person that you were with, and I know I keep speaking to this because I'm sorry, like, this is just, I feel like, the main message for you guys. There really isn't like a whole lot different that I can really go from. But if you are in fact dealing with a breakup or a separation, divorce, and the reason why you can't move on is because the person that you were dealing with is making it more difficult for you to leave, because maybe they're promising you that they'll change, they're promising you this or whatnot, don't be fooled. Okay. I think you will know what's best for you. Again, I am not here to judge or say either way, but this is just telling you just to, try and stay the course and focus on you. Okay. So that is all that I'm saying, Capricorns. I wish this was a little bit more lighthearted, and I'm so sorry that it wasn't. I do apologize, but unfortunately, sometimes these messages come out the way that they come out, and this was very, very specific. So be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising as well. If this was not 100% for you, I guarantee there is going to be an additional message for you if this did not pertain to you. But if it did, just know that my heart goes out to you. I honestly am here for you. Please I just want you guys to know it's going to be okay in the end. No matter what, you will be fine. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.